Now, ethical and sustainable trading policy is a new section in BIBA's manifesto. I'm glad to say that we're joined by BIBA's Vanessa Young, who heads up our Compliance and Advisory Board of Management as well. Vanessa, welcome.
Thank you, Graham.
Now, the government have a green paper out on sustainable finance, as do the regulator as well, on green finance issues. So what are BIBA doing in that area, and what do brokers need to think about?
Okay, thank you. Every business, regardless of its size, has a part to play in society that goes beyond its core trading objectives. And the growing focus on ethical trading and sustainability has meant that there is much more information publicly available. And often this information on green finance and the environment it can be conflicting, and it can be confusing if you're a small business that wanting to do their bit and actually wanting to put forward their own ideals and behave in an ethical and sustainable manner. And what BIBA has actually done is, we've made a manifesto commitment to actually helping our members navigate that information.
So what specifically are we doing to help members?
We have actually decided to make a manifesto commitment to create a green finance toolkit for our members so that they can actually improve their green credentials. This toolkit will actually look at ways in which they can make simple steps to change their business, and that they can actually demonstrate an environmental awareness in their business conduct.
So that could be things like their investments, things like their recycling policy, things like that?
Yes, it will look at things like carbon offset. It will look at how you might negotiate new energy deals, how you might put in place an actual recycling policy, that kind of thing. All sorts of very simple things that our members could conduct and take forward.
Yeah. Something the regulator's going to probably require them to do to a degree in the not too distant future either.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, you also lead a lot of our diversity and inclusion work at BIBA. Can you bring us up to speed on some of the issues there? Because we understand that when there was some research done, 85% of the people researched, the employers, were saying that a good D&I strategy in their company helps improve the bottom line. So it sounds like it's something that's incredibly important.
Exactly. BIBA promotes the insurance industry as a great place to follow a career, and particularly if it's at one of our member firms. And we are dependent on attracting the best talent to our members, and that talent needs to be as diverse as the customers and the communities that we're actually serving.
So I know we've signed up lots of the pledges with the Treasury and the CII, so lots of work to do for the whole industry there, and we'll be helping members with that.
Exactly. One of the things that's recently happened is the FCO, in its Dear CEO letter to the wholesale insurance market, had actually said that a lack of diversity and inclusion and non-financial misconduct were key barriers in actually attracting good, strong talent to the industry. It actually also had an impact on the kind of business decisions that firms were taking and the risk decisions that they were taking. And if you don't have a diverse and inclusive environment, you're not going to have the creativity and the different cultural backgrounds that are needed for productivity and actually pushing forward business in an ethical and sustainable way.
Absolutely, completely agree. Now, another issue that we have in this year's manifesto, and you've created a new section on our website, is about well-being, mental well-being. Now, I've worked in a broker. It can be a very stressful time there, particularly at renewal time when you've got lots of renewals to get out. What are we doing in that space to help members?
Mental well-being is a huge area, and it's been something that BIBA has been championing and recently. We have actually put 10 of our staff through the mental health first aid training course. It's an accredited course, 2 days, and that course is actually designed to give our staff the skills that they might need and the understanding and the knowledge about how they might provide first aid to an individual who is actually experiencing mental health issues such as anxiety, depression, or psychosis. And our staff have found that incredibly important and really, really helpful in their day-to-day work. And that is something, that knowledge is something that we want to share with our members. So that is why we have made the manifesto commitment to actually provide discounted training in the mental health first aid arena to actually help our members get that knowledge, and so it's something that they can apply at their own businesses and create good, strong businesses where mental health is on a parity with physical health, and that there is no stigma actually attached to saying, look, I'm not okay at the moment, I do have a mental health problem, and we can actually help them to support their staff and keep their support going and keep that person in the office and working if necessary. So that's
really good point. Mental health is every bit as important as physical health. It's just so difficult to see sometimes, isn't it? So I'd encourage members to have a look at the BEBA website and look at the dates where we're running those courses. And thank you very much, Vanessa, for your input there. Vanessa, tell us a little bit more about the Inclusion at Lloyd's Toolkit.
Okay. BEBA has actually made the manifesto commitment to adopt the D&I toolkit. This toolkit aims to help members achieve their goals in diversity and inclusion. So it's 5 practical steps that they can follow to actually, starting from the very, very beginning and then working their way through to actually measuring their progress with diversity and inclusion. And we really think that with the adoption of this toolkit, members can actually demonstrate how well they're progressing their D&I objectives.
It's really important. Thank you very much, Vanessa, BEBA's Compliance and Advisory Board Manager.